I woke up one morning and realized something was very wrong. Not just wrong in the simple, ordinary sense, but wrong in a way that made my stomach sink and my mind race. I never thought this would happen to me. Someone with intent, with precision, was trying to unravel everything I had built. My life, my work, my reputation, everything. And in that moment, I understood something frightening. No matter how high you climb, no matter how much you think you are untouchable, no one is immune. I remember sitting in my office, early morning light spilling through the glass, and feeling a weight I had never experienced before. Fear, disbelief, anger, all tangled together. The news had broken overnight. The details weren't just rumors, they were calculated attacks on my character, on my personal life. People I trusted, colleagues, friends, some were involved, knowingly or unknowingly, in amplifying it. And in that quiet, fluorescent lit office, I realized how fragile even the most fortified life can be. At first, I couldn't breathe. I went over every detail, every possible misstep. I questioned myself, did I do something to deserve this? Could I have seen it coming? Was this my fault? Those questions haunted me because they made me human. Because in moments like this, your mind doesn't just fight the external threats, it starts to fracture from the inside. You wonder about your choices, your legacy, your family, everything that you thought was stable. The event unfolded step by step, like a slow-motion train wreck. First came whispers, inconsequential at first, small notes, private messages, things that seemed trivial, but then the whispers turned into headlines. The headlines turned into viral conversations. And in a matter of days, it felt like the entire world was watching, judging, deciding whether the life I had built, decades of work, sacrifices, relentless hours, was worth anything at all. I remember sitting at the dining table with my children that morning, staring at them, trying to smile, trying to be the father they always knew. But inside, I felt hollow. I feared not just for my own life, but for theirs, for my family's privacy, for the people who depend on me. I feared how this storm would shape their perception of me, of their own memories. And in that fear, I realized that no amount of money, no amount of power, no amount of influence could shield you from the human vulnerability of being attacked when you least expect it. This matters deeply because as we grow older, we start to believe in the permanence of our accomplishments. We begin to think, I've built this. I've survived challenges before. I am untouchable. But life has a cruel way of reminding us, nothing is permanent. The people around you may change. The world's narrative may shift, and the quiet, steady work of your lifetime can be questioned in a heartbeat. This is not paranoia, this is reality. I spent nights lying awake, reflecting on health, on stress, on the quiet erosion of well-being that comes when your mind cannot rest. For decades, I had pushed my body, pushed my mind. I thought endurance was strength. But endurance without awareness can be dangerous. I realized that no empire, no business, no achievement is worth sacrificing your health, your sleep, your peace of mind. It's a lesson I wish I had internalized earlier. And there is a larger meaning here, something I want to share, not as a billionaire or a CEO, but as a human being navigating an unpredictable world. Money can protect you, influence can shield you, but they cannot protect you from the emotional and psychological toll of betrayal, scrutiny, and fear. The late nights, the anxious thoughts, the feeling of being cornered, they reach into your bones. And the older you get, the more you realize that time is precious and you cannot recover the moments lost to worry or resentment. I've faced enormous pressure throughout my career. Amazon, for all its scale, for all its dominance, was built on relentless risk-taking. I have made decisions that haunted me at night, choices that required sacrifice, choices that left people frustrated or angry, but nothing prepared me for this insidious, targeted attempt to dismantle a life. And it made me reflect on the fragility of even the most confident man. No matter how much you think you have control, there is always an element outside your reach, always. I think about childhood a lot in moments like this. Growing up, I learned about resilience. My parents instilled in me a sense of curiosity, a drive to create, a refusal to accept limits. But childhood does not prepare you for calculated attacks. No one tells you that the very systems you build, your work, your reputation, your community, can be weaponized against you. And yet, here I was, facing a moment where everything I had invested my life into seemed under siege. This is why I speak directly to those watching who are over 50, over 60. Your work, your legacy, your family, your health, they are your most valuable assets. Do not take them for granted. Protect them not just legally, but emotionally. Guard your mental space. Guard your trust. I learned the hard way that people, circumstances, and time can conspire in ways you never imagined. It is not cynicism, it is caution born from experience. I have regrets. I wish I had recognized the warning signs earlier. I wish I had slowed down, paid more attention to my inner circle, to the small shifts in behavior that hinted at trouble. I wish I had been kinder to myself, more forgiving when mistakes were made, more honest when I was vulnerable. Because in times like these, you realize that pride can be a trap, ego can blind you, and what you ignore in the quiet moments can explode into a crisis that shakes the foundation of everything you've built. The lesson I learned, and the one I hope you take to heart, is that life is fragile. Reputation, wealth, achievement, they are all transient. What truly matters is clarity, integrity, and resilience. When someone tries to destroy your life, it is not only a test of your resources, it is a test of your character. It is a test of whether you can remain grounded, whether you can act with wisdom, whether you can preserve what is essential, your family, your health, your sense of purpose. There were nights when I sat alone in my study, staring at the dark skyline, asking myself, is this the end? Is this everything slipping away? And then in the silence, I remembered something fundamental. Life is not about what others say about you. Life is about how you respond, how you choose to rise from the chaos, how you protect what matters most. And slowly, carefully, deliberately, I began to rebuild not Amazon, not my public persona, but the inner fortress of my mind, the quiet strength that cannot be shaken by rumor, by malice, by fear. I want you to understand something. Being attacked, being challenged, being questioned, it will happen to everyone. No one is immune, no matter how powerful they seem. But what defines you is not the attack itself, it is your response. It is the reflection, the patience, the courage to continue. And I realized something beautiful in the middle of this storm. Adversity, while painful, reveals truths you could never see otherwise. It exposes the depth of your resilience, the weight of your responsibilities, and the clarity of your values. As I look back now, I see that this attempt to destroy me was also a mirror. It reflected every flaw, every fear, every vulnerability, and in facing it, I was forced to grow in ways I could not have anticipated. I became more aware of my mortality, more conscious of my relationships, more deliberate in my choices. I learned to forgive not just those who sought to harm me, but myself for the times I ignored warnings, for the moments I allowed pride to cloud judgment. So here I am, speaking to you directly, not as the CEO, not as the richest man, not as a public figure, but as a human being who has walked through fire and emerged with lessons that matter more than money, more than power, more than accolades. I hope you hear me when I say, your life, your health, your family, your mind, guard them fiercely. Do not underestimate the quiet dangers that can creep into your life. Do not assume that time makes you invincible. And yet, there is hope. There is always hope. Because when you face destruction, when you confront the abyss, you also discover the well of resilience within you. You rediscover your purpose, you redefine your priorities, and slowly, imperceptibly, life returns to its rhythm, not the same rhythm as before, perhaps, but a rhythm guided by wisdom, experience, and clarity that only adversity can provide. I close with this. As someone who has walked this difficult path, life is fragile, but it is also beautiful. The attacks, the betrayals, the moments of fear, they are not the end. They are a reminder that we must cherish what we have, protect what is essential, and never take a single moment for granted. And perhaps most importantly, they remind us that we are stronger than we realize. stronger than we give ourselves credit for, stronger even when we feel utterly vulnerable. If you are over 50, over 60, if you are navigating life with responsibilities, with aging, with families, hear me clearly, protect your inner life, protect your health, protect your peace of mind, because the world will challenge you, it will test you, and it will seek to define you by its standards. But your life, your true life, is defined by how you choose to live, how you choose to respond, and how you choose to endure. And if there is one final thought I want to leave with you, it is this: even when someone tries to destroy everything you have the power to rebuild. Not just externally, but internally. Not just materially, but spiritually, emotionally, mentally. And in doing so, you discover the truth that I have learned painfully, slowly, and with great reflection. Life's deepest value is not in what others say about you, but in the quiet strength you cultivate within yourself, in the legacy you choose to leave, and in the love, wisdom, and resilience you carry forward.